in the Marriott Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. Marriott Hotel.
Marriott Marquis.
Okay, hotel in the 46th floor.
Yeah, what is he talking about?
You can see the view, Atlanta, Georgia in the back. We have important day today for the Dorman family.
Hey, Murphy, we forgot our card.
Please, no, other than the photographers, no pictures, no Charles live streaming.
Yeah.
I already got a text from Lexi this morning. You think Charles could stream this thing live so we can watch it?
We could, but Steven doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't want
So, anyways, you're going to be fined $50 if you do any live streaming. It's on the orders.
And Joy.
And Joy, yeah. So, we're going to get this wonderful ceremony underway, and Sarah has a prayer that she would.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Sarah's with the ring bearer.
We have to back up. Any Joy?
Yes.
She has to be.
Yes.
She needs to.
My youngest sister was and that's her.
Oh, that's got it. Well, maybe this is where I have to go into my comedy act.
Please, Jeff.
Jeff, soft shoe. Do some soft shoe.
Yeah, there you go, Paul.
Joy, we love you. Anytime now. Well, anyways, now that Joy's here, we can get underway. Sarah has a prayer that she would like to say or recite.
Yes. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone, when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not easily broken.
You know, when Stephen asked me to, if I would sort of perform this ceremony, I obviously had to give it some thought. And I realized that I didn't really know a lot about Joy other than the fact that I, talked to her in the last few years a couple times, I guess. And so Morgan said, well, geez, Dad, I'll help you. She put together this questionnaire for both Stephen and for Joy. And interestingly, Stephen answered all the questions in one or two word phrases, but sort of, he's to the point. Where, Joy, she couldn't write it out, so she called Morgan and talked to her for an hour and a half. So I just thought,
Next hour and a half ever.
So, we don't have enough time to go over Joy's responses, but there was a couple of items.
We'll do that at lunch.
Yeah, we got the next 20 or 30 years. But I just thought, and Stephen didn't mind if I did, I just, tell you some of the questions we talked about and some of the answers that Stephen had, and one of them was, and I think as a Dorfman, you know this about Stephen, but what was your first impression of Joy? And his answer was, great mom. And what quality do you most admire about Joy? And his answer was, she had a big heart. And,
That's nice.
now, interestingly, he said, how did the proposal go? And he said, flawlessly. But, well, Joy's answer was about 3 pages. I will tell you this. I condensed it into 1 sentence. He says, well, she said it did not go the way he expected it to go, and he wanted it at a different time and place, and he actually picked me up one night after it was supposed to happen, which I didn't know. So, we got to be in Northland fashion, and Stephen thought that was flawless. And then Morgan, one of her questions was, what do you love about her kids? And his answer was, how much they love their mom. And I thought that was really telling, that remarkably, Stephen does, other than himself. But anyways, Joy, the one question, what was your first impression of Stephen? And they were going to go running, and her answer was, he would show up to run wearing black socks and cargo shorts. Now, just saying. Anyways, I think it just gives you a little insight that in these two, they understand each other, they love each other, and that's why we're here today. And so, if there's anybody in the room that would like to say something to Stephen or Joy, or say something about them that they know.
The first time I met Steve, it was our first day of residency. I came from Colorado. I went to the University of Colorado. Steve had come to Wisconsin, and I soon realized he had the University of Pennsylvania, which, as he knows, an Ivy League school. And Steve was kind of dressed the part. He had a bow tie on. And in medicine, the really professorial physicians who wear the bow tie. And he was dressed kind of like a liberal professor. And at the time I thought, this guy could not be any different than me. And so as we went through these 3 extremely difficult years, I really came to know how wonderful Steve was. He really helped me get through my residency. And we did it because Steve, as we all know, has a very good sense of humor. And he does a lot of great impersonations. And he had an impersonation for all the attendings. And he had funny sayings about all the odd events that happened through our lives there. So that's where it started. And I just want to say a few things about Steve that I think everyone knows, but I just want to let him know it. Steve's like the most brilliant person I've ever met. If you've ever had a conversation with Steve, it really doesn't matter what the topic is. He can give you a 5 to 10 minute, very interesting, lively, in-depth discussion. And it's interesting because I learned so much about things other than medicine from Steve. I learned all about Walter White. And I watched a few episodes. I also learned about the rise and fall of the Aztec Empire. I learned about Noam Chomsky. Initially, Noam Chomsky as his role as a linguist, and I must say I knew very little about linguistics and how language works until I met Steve. And then we talked about Noam Chomsky as the leftist activist that he is. I've learned a lot about Steve. He's also one of the most compassionate people I've ever known, and he hides this well. He pretends to be very self-absorbed and single-minded. And at times I would think that, but at his core, he's really one of the most compassionate people I've ever known. He's an amazing pediatrician. He's been able to work in an institution that, in some people's minds, is kind of a Walmart of medicine. Yet he really establishes relationships with his patients, and they absolutely love him. So not only does he provide great care, and he has some of the most difficult patients, and he has all the Spanish-speaking patients because he's in Spanish. So I think he's really had he was like a positive light for thousands of children over the last 3 years. I really admire him. The other thing that strikes me about Steve is the fact that he is a genuinely happy person. More importantly, or more interesting, is the fact that this young man is a very quirky individual. Some would say eccentric. Some people might even say that he's a high-functioning Asperger.
No, that's my brother Charles.
But, just a few
Is that a compliment?
Yeah.
Highly functioning.
Highly functional. The very first time I went to Steve's apartment was probably in the second half of our first year. I didn't know where he lived. I lived kind of in a suburb in a nice new apartment. But not Steve. Steve couldn't do that. He had to live in the inner city of Sacramento. As I was driving into the neighborhood, I was like, wow, this is quite a sketchy area. I get to his apartment. His blinds are closed. I walk into a pretty much dark apartment, and I'm looking at his living room, and all I see is a Barco lounger, a leather one. It was his pride and joy at the time. Yeah. And then he had a lamp, one lamp in the center of the room that focused its beam on Steve's Barco lounger. And that's where Steve was reading. He had hundreds of books surrounding him. And when Steve had free time, and we didn't have a lot of free time, Steve would read. And it didn't matter what the topic was. Once he got interested in something, he would gobble it up. And everyone else, all of our peers, would not be reading. We had a few minutes off. And if we were, we would be studying to pass our pediatric board. But Steve was well beyond that. And that's when I knew he was quite the interesting individual. So, and then, Steve has had all sorts of hobbies and obsessions, and I won't go into them this morning, but someday we might want to talk about his cars and his relationship with cars, his relationship with photography. And, he's been set in his way for a long, long time, and anyone that knows Steve knows that he has a set of things that he does, and it's in a certain order. And so, the only thing that Steve was really lacking in his life was a companion. And it's interesting because, Joy and Steve had known each other for a long time. And they were good friends, and I think they enjoyed each other's company. But some miracle must have happened about 5 years ago. And a friendship became more than a friendship. And I must say that Joy is a remarkable person. And I know that not really even knowing her very well, but I know she's remarkable for 2 reasons. Number one, she's married to Steve Norton. That would take a remarkable person. But equally important is that Steve is marrying Joy. Now, Steve's 56 years old. He's known many. In that he's a very outgoing person, and he knows a lot of people. But the point is that no one kept the grade. No one made the grade except for Joy. And so I speak for everyone in saying that we're thrilled that the miracle happened. We're thrilled that
Go to Grandpa. Thank you, Joseph.
one of the things that came to mind as Jeff and Joe were speaking is that Stephen really knows me and who I am. And that's part of what I love about you. And who I identify with as being a mother and my kids. And he knows just that's the basic of who I am and where I come from and that love for my children. So Stephen always asks me, when is it going to be my turn? And what he always refers to is, when is somebody going to say
that I'm too good looking for joy?
Help me all celebrate, don't you agree? His time has come, his time is now, babe. I think you're too good looking for me.
Hey.
And now it's my turn?
It's your
Oh,
turn, Steve.
I just wanted to mention I wanted to mention some people who aren't here today, and I didn't think I was going to get emotional. First person I want to mention is our mother, Dorothy, who, I know how much she would love you, like how much.
Yes.
And the second guest of honor, so the first guest of honor is Mom. And Dad, Robert Dorfman, is here. Yeah. And Joy's mom and dad can't be here. Joy's dad is not in good health. They're in the Philippines right now. And so they're here in spirit. And then I wanted to mention me. No, just joking. No, our brother-in-law, Andy Leshak, and Andy's been sick, and he's a tough old Slovak from the north end of Superior, and Andy got his treatment, got on the plane, and got out here. We're just thrilled to have him here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I get to talk more.
I feel really bad everyone's standing.
Yeah.
I envisioned everyone sitting. So
Yeah.
please,
Yeah,
if you want to
Yeah.
sit.
I wanted to recite a poem by Edward Thomas, who is a mentor to Robert Frost. And I've always liked this poem, and then it has special meaning because of the months. And Joy and I got engaged in April, and of course this is the last weekend of, got engaged in November, and this is the last weekend of April. So I'm going to try this. Ready, babe?
Okay.
Okay. Joy, when winter's ahead, what can you read in November that you read in April when winter's dead? I hear the thrush, and I see her alone at the end of the lane near the bare poplar's tip, singing continuously. Is it more that you know than that, even as in April, so in November, winter is gone and must go? Or is all your lore not to call November, November, April, April, and winter, winter, no more? But I know the months all with their sweet names, April, May, and June, and October. As you call and call, I must remember what died into April, and consider what will be born in the fair November. In April, I love for what it is born of. In November, for what it will die in, what they are and what they are not. While you love what is kind, what you can sing in and love and forget, and all that's ahead and behind.
Beloved wife,
I do.
Joy, Stephen, your beloved husband.
She does.
I do. Just in case you didn't hear it.
So here's the best part. Where's Ezra?
He's in the kitchen.
Beautiful box. Thank you, Ezra.
And this is a beautiful ring that Colin made that we're very excited about, and you'll have to take a look at. Turn it on.
Yeah, no.
That's side nine.
Did you turn it on?
No.
Oh, it's on.
What about you, Mingus?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Champagne toast for everybody. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Oh, sorry, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
We're not there yet. So in closing, I have a little poem I want to read, but first I want to say, when Stephen asked me to do this, I thought, I was laying in bed the other night thinking to myself, gosh, Colin, made the ring, performing the ceremony, I'm gonna go out and, put that 700 square foot master bedroom, bath, laundry room addition on their house, So I thought, do I really have to show up for the honeymoon? I mean, what more can one man do? But anyways, I found this poem. There was no author, but I thought, geez, it really sort of hit home. And it goes like this. Today is a day you will always remember, the greatest in anyone's life. You'll start off the day just two people in love and end it as husband and wife. It's a brand new beginning, the start of a journey with moments to cherish and treasure. And although there will be times when we both disagree, these will surely be outweighed by pleasure. You'll have heard many words of advice in the past when the secrets of marriage were spoken, but you know that the answers lie hidden inside where the bond of true love lies unbroken. So live happy forever as lovers and friends. It's the dawn of a new life for you. As you stand there together with love in your eyes, from the moment you whisper, I do. And with luck, all your hopes and your dreams can be real. May success find its way to your hearts. Tomorrow can bring you the greatest of joy, but today is the day it all starts. So, Steve
Yeah, okay, we have nothing for the kids. We have non-alcohol here.
When Stephen asked me to do this, I thought, I was laying in bed the other night thinking to myself, gosh, Colin, made the ring, performing the ceremony, I'm gonna go out and, put that 700 square foot master bedroom, bath, laundry room addition on their house, So I thought, do I really have to show up for the honeymoon? I mean, I could. What more can one man do? But anyways, I found this poem. There was no author, but I thought, geez, you'll start off the day just two people in love and end it as husband and wife. It's a brand new beginning, the start of a journey with moments to cherish and treasure.
Yeah, okay, we have not
46th floor in a Marriott